All right, I think we're ready to go. So, good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our virtual brunch. Most of you probably have at least talked to me or seen me at conferences before. I'm Jacob Lippincott. I'm the Sales and Support Specialist for Proteome Software. Wanted to start briefly with a question. Some of you may be wondering, why brunch? This is kind of replacing our typical user group meeting that we would have at ASMS. And when we decided to go virtual instead, we realized that since people would be scattered around so many different time zones, it it seemed kind of fitting have a brunch type meeting when you can have coffee, or you can have a mimosa, or you can have whatever. All are acceptable at brunch. So we're trying that this year is just a little thing. So if you're having a cup of coffee or you're winding your day down, we got a good group of speakers lined up, so we're excited to get started. So I think everybody can see my screen with the agenda slide. We got some updates from the development staff. We have a live demo, which is going to be cool. We're going to talk about some ocean proteomics. We're going to close out with a couple talks on DIA. So that should all be pretty cool. I want to do one more slide before we get into it. For people who are looking for some resources, if you have questions about how to use Scaffold, anything about that, check out our website, our help center. Our YouTube channel has a bunch of tutorial videos that you can follow along with. We got some really good documentation. We've been working to kind of build that up over the past couple of years. So check all that out. Of course, if you have questions after looking at our documentation, you can always contact us using sales at or support at proteomesoftware.com. So enough of the boring stuff. Now let's get into our first presenter. So up first, we have Susan Ludwigsen. She's the head of software development for Proteome Software, and she's going to give us a look at the future of the company and how the product line is going to evolve over the coming months and beyond. So let's jump right in. All right, take it away, Susan.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. So I'm really sorry that I'm missing the chance to see all of you this year at our user group and at our booth, but I want to thank you for joining us. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview, a development roadmap of where we're going with our development process. I've been sharing with you over the past few years our evolutionary process we've been on. And this is to give you an update. I think some exciting things are going to be starting to happen over the course of the next year or so. So this is a development roadmap. First, just to review, how did we get to where we are now? Proteome Software got rolling back in about 2005 with Scaffold. And over the years, Scaffold has grown tremendously in complexity and richness. And we've also launched a lot of spin-off products. Oh, whoops, sorry. What's going on here? Okay, to get us to our current position. And we now have 6 separate products. And I know that many of you find it inconvenient to have to use so many separate programs, especially for your DDA analysis. And we are also finding it very difficult to keep improving all of those different products and keep them up to date with new demands and new technologies. So we needed to map out a plan for the future. And our plan is that we will merge the functionality of many of the programs into one, and merge all the products to a single platform to support continuous improvement of all, so that when we add a feature, it can go directly into our various software products. We're already moving down this road, and in just a few months, we hope to make the first really significant step that's visible to all of you when we release new generations of all of our Scaffold products. They'll have a new look and feel, many new features. So let's take a closer look at them. First, we'll be introducing Scaffold 5, which will have searching from raw files for the very first time in Scaffold. Also, it will introduce Percolator as a means of assessing peptide probabilities, support timsTOF through frag pipe output, and it will still contain an option for Q+ and Q+S. Also coming will be a new program, which we're currently calling internally Scaffold Quant. I don't guarantee that these names will be the names that upon release, but that's our internal name for it. This will replace perspectives, and initially it'll provide a full range of quantitative analysis options for label-free data, spectral counting, tick, precursor intensity. It will still depend on Scaffold or other programs to produce MZIDs for input. From Scaffold, you'll be able to directly create files for Scaffold Quant. Scaffold DIA 3.0 will also make its appearance at that time, and it will include Brian's thesaurus program to introduce PTM analysis into your DIA workflows. And our small molecule metabolomics product, Elements, will also be coming out with 3.0, which will have the new experimental design interface and expanded statistical support and other improvements. So that's all coming hopefully by early fall. And then we will continue on with the journey and we'll begin the process of merging our programs. First, TMT and iTrack analysis and eventually SILAC analysis will be merged into Scaffold Quant. And this will replace the need for Scaffold Q+ and Q+S. Along the way, we hope to help you avoid some of the obstacles that I know a lot of you are encountering, such as large file sizes, long processing times, interfacing with other software, and we hope to support some new techniques as we go. So in addition to just our transition, we want to continue improving your experience. So we'll zoom you past the obstacles. And then we'll get to the big step of merging together Scaffold 5 and Scaffold Quant to produce one fully featured DDA proteomic solution, which we're calling, at least for now, Scaffold Pro. And Scaffold Pro will read raw files or search engine results, calculate its own precursor intensities, support labeled quant, PTM localization, and all of the nice flexible experimental design and statistical analysis features that we've been building into our newer programs. So it'll be a full package for DDA proteomics. Finally, that will lead us to our destination. At the end of the road, we'll have a simplified lineup of fully integrated software solutions for DDA, DIA, and small molecules. And as always, we love to hear from our users. So if you have suggestions, feature requests, complaints, feel free to contact me directly at any time. I love to hear input, and we try very hard to respond to our users as quickly as possible. And now, just to let you know that this is all real and it's really coming. I've been promising you that this was all in the works for a couple years, and it's finally coming to the point where you're going to start seeing it. So next up, you're going to see a live demo of the new Scaffold Quant program. And this, what you're going to see, is not actually just the first iteration of it that will be coming by early fall, but a little farther down the road, where you're going to see how it's going to work with iTrack and TMT data. So Caleb Emmons, one of our developers, is going to show you that. It won't have the newest updated look and feel of the GUI, but you'll get to see a lot of really cool functionality. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Susan. Looks like we have some exciting things coming up. One thing I wanted to mention is that we are doing questions via the question option in the webinar. So if you have one of those, make sure to put the name of the panelist that you'd like to ask directly, and we'll route those questions along. So